Good morning, this is Mike Houston with your Thursday morning weather hazard briefing for Southeast Idaho. Checking into the key points this morning, I know you're all asking when will these stormy conditions and below normal temperatures end? Well, hold on, we'll find out here in a second. Taking a look at satellite imagery this morning, we see some low clouds showing up in this powder blue color here across the Snake River Plain. And if you look further up to the north and west, we have some high clouds spreading into the region ahead of a low pressure system which is advancing pretty quickly towards western Canada. Looking at our weather risk outlook matrix over the next 5 days, we see lots of oranges and red colors in here, which was indicative of some moderate impacts, and we'll get into those here in a few minutes. Looking at the storm track this morning, we had a low pressure system that was dropping down the California coast yesterday, as you'll remember. Now beginning to eject through the desert southwest. We have a shortwave ridge across the region, which has been bringing us relatively dry conditions. And here's that incoming storm system that's pressing hard for western Canada. As we advance to this afternoon, you can see that low pressure system shearing rapidly east along the Canadian border. We start to see some increasing winds here across southern Idaho, and along with that passing storm system to our north, we'll begin to see precipitation working into the region this afternoon and continuing through tonight. Daytime highs today going to remain fairly cool. In fact, if I were to show you the temperatures over the next 5 days, they wouldn't change much from this, which basically we're looking at highs in the lower 20s here in the upper valley, and probably pinging at about 35 degrees down here in the eastern Magic Valley. Get up into the central mountains in the mid-20s to lower 30s, and across the southeast highlands basically staying in the mid-20s. As I mentioned, winds will begin to pick up this afternoon. We'll see breezy conditions here in terms of wind gusts across the Burley area this afternoon. Not expecting to see wind advisory conditions. As we look at the snowfall totals with that storm system pushing through overnight tonight and ending on Friday, it looks like we may get close to advisory conditions here across the Big Hole Mountains and portions of the upper Snake Highlands. We'll have to wait and see if the day shift comes up with a similar readings here. They'll probably be issuing some sort of statements or highlights for this region here. Otherwise, sub-advisory amounts here for the southeast highlands with low-end snow amounts generally in the 1 to 4 inch range and breezy conditions. We look at the wind gusts for Friday afternoon, a little more than breezy, probably bordering on wind advisory conditions. With wind gusts here indicated of 30 to 40 miles per hour across the eastern Magic Valley and nosing up into the Pocatello region. Advancing our charts to Saturday, we see that a next storm system setting up off the coast here with a low pressure system that's going to stay here through the weekend. We're going to see a series of disturbances working out of this low and up and across the forecast area here of southeast Idaho, and that'll produce at least 3 periods of heightened snowfall across the region over the weekend. Looking at the 24-hour snow total ending on Saturday, so we see sub-advisory snowfall with generally 1 to 3 inches here throughout the Snake River Plain and 1 to 4 or 5 inch amounts here across the southeast highlands and central mountains. Yes, we'll have a little wind to go with that on Saturday. Really not too terribly bad, though, just breezy. But it will impact blowing and drifting across some of our rural highways, so we'll want to be watching for that. Looking at 24-hour snowfall amount ending on Sunday. Once again, 2 to 5 inch amounts here in the mountains, and maybe 1 to 2 or 3 inch amounts here in the Snake River Plain, and we'll probably see some breezy conditions with that as well. Advancing the storm track to Tuesday, after those waves ejected from the low, it has weakened, but we are seeing some energy dropping into the western periphery of this low, so that'll spin that back up. Models right now are inconclusive on when this particular low pressure system may spread inland. We had anything from early on, sometime Tuesday or even Thursday or Friday of next week. So we're going to have to hold out and wait to see how that one pans out for us. Looking out into our 8 to 14 day forecast, we are expecting below normal temperatures and a tilt towards above normal precipitation conditions across the region. So the question you asked, will these stormy conditions and below normal temperatures end? Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're going to continue to impact us through the weekend and into next week and beyond. If you had any comments, questions, or concerns, or you want to voice your disgust over this ongoing winter, please give us a call here at the Weather Office. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you.